Hi everyone, it's Nina, and I'm a guest designer for the Pretty Pink Posh second birthday blog hop. This is a special event that's going on over the next couple days. It starts today on January 14th and will be continuing on through the 16th. We've got a lot of fun discounts and special prizes over at the Pretty Pink Posh blog, so be sure to stop on over there and leave some comments along the different stops along the hop to increase your chances of winning. Today we're going to be creating this cute little panel card that is going to be featuring some of the new supplies from the Pretty Pink Posh January release. So let's get started and check out what the new release is all about. So here I've got the new release. I've got the Stitch Tabs die set. This is a really cute die set that has some really great stitching details along the sides of these stitch tabs. Got 3 of those in the set and they are really cute, and you can do all sorts of different things with those. There are 3 new sequin packs. We've got the Sweet Pea Mix right here, which has a lot of beautiful pinks and greens. You have the Share Handmade Kindness Mix, which you may have seen some previews of over the past couple months. And we also have these teeny tiny little silver stars, which are absolutely beautiful and glisten like crazy. Finally, we've got the Storybook 3 die set. If you have the Storybook 1 and 2 die set, this will coordinate, so it's definitely something to pick up if you like those. So here I'm starting off with my Copic coloring. I've got these balloons that I'm stamped onto some cardstock here using the My Favorite Things Adorable Elephants stamp set. It's a brand new stamp set for them. I'm doing some shading with my markers, and I'm coloring all the balloons exactly the same, so I'm just going to show you a couple of the balloons. I've got all the colors that I'm using listed on the side of the screen so you can replicate the color combinations if you like, but I'm just doing a simple shading along the right hand side of each balloon. Creates a little bit of a highlight then on the left hand side. Once I've done all the coloring, I'm going to cut these out with my scissors. You can use the coordinating dies if you have them, but I don't, so I'm just going to go ahead and leave a white border around the edges of my cutting just to make it look like I had used dies. Coloring in an elephant from this stamp set. I'm going to be coloring in 2 elephants in total, but I'm just going to show the one simply because I colored them exactly the same way. Gonna do some warm grays for the body, and I'm coloring everything in a pastel color tone, so I'm being very light with my color shading. And as you can see, I'm just working with some light warm gray colors, and I'm adding in some dot technique for the body of this elephant. It creates a little bit of a texture for the elephant and it gives a little bit of an interesting look, and I really love the storybook kind of feel that this elephant ends up getting at the end. So I'll just keep working that shading with the warm grays until I have it the way I like it. I'm going to bring in some pinks for this elephant to add some blush to his cheeks, his ears, and also his belly. And this creates a little bit of an extra bit of color to the elephant, otherwise who is gray. And I really liked how this ended up working out with the grays. I'm using my Big Shot here, and I've got the stitch border dies, and I'm going to be cutting my front panel for my card. This is going to go on top of my card base. And I'll go ahead and run this through my die cutting machine. Next, I'm going to take that same piece that we die cut and I'm going to add a stitched rectangle die from Simon's Stamp, and I'm going to die cut that as well. I'm going to run that through, and then we'll go ahead and score that top half of the card. I'm going to go about a ½ inch down from the top, and that'll create a way for us to be able to attach this to our card base, which is going to be an A2 size card. So I'm adding some coloring here with my Distress inks. This is some ink blending tools, and I'm using Tumbled Glass for the first color. Then I'm going to be bringing in some Ocean Waves. This is a Altenew dye ink, and it's an absolutely beautiful blue color. So I'm going to head and add that along the bottom portion of this panel. This creates just a tiny bit of a darker blue and helps give the sky a bit of depth. I've also die cut a grassy hill from a My Favorite Things die, and I'm going to use some Twisted Citron and Mowed Lawn Distress ink to add some color to this grass. Once I've got the coloring all finished for the grass, I'm going to take that same Stitch Tabs die and I'm going to run this through my Big Shot machine. This will create a way for us to be able to layer this onto our front panel. I'm taking my sentiment stamp here from the same elephant stamp set from My Favorite Things. I'm going to go ahead and heat emboss that with some embossing powder. I've got a Mama Elephant die here. This is a cloud die. I'm going to attach this underneath my grass. using some regular adhesive to attach all these pieces down. Using some foam tape, I'm going to attach the elephant to my card. And as you can see, we're already getting our scene completely built. Just a few more steps. So I'll line that little elephant up, and isn't that just the most cutest little guy ever? I love this stamp set. So I'm taking some liquid glue here, and I'm going to attach my little balloons down. This will just hold them in place, and I'm just adding some glue along certain areas because I want parts of the images to be lifted off the paper just a tiny bit to give them a little bit of an extra lift. Using some Copic markers, I'm going to add some texture to the grass. I'm doing that same dot technique that I used for the elephant. And this will just help keep everything continually looking the same. Using some shading underneath the elephant, just going to add a little bit of grays and greens just to kind of give them a little bit of a grounded feel. So here's that other elephant I colored. I'm taking a craft knife and I'm going to cut along the side of his trunk. And I'm going to slip in that fourth balloon that I colored underneath his trunk. And that's just going to look like he's holding it. And it is adorable, isn't it? It's so cute. So for that front portion of my card, I'm using that tumbled glass again. And this is going to be like a panel card. The panel we were creating, that first scene, that's going to be layered on top of our card base. So we will, in a sense, be creating two panels and then the inside of the card then for where you can write your sentiment. So I'm adding in some more of that ocean waves to basically creating the same exact type of scene that I created on the front. I'm just going to be using different images, and it's going to be laid out slightly different. I've got another cloud die, and I'm going to be stamping this sentiment, which is also from the elephant stamp set from My Favorite Things. I'm going to stamp this in Versamark and heat emboss it. Then we'll go ahead and attach this down onto our front panel here. And we'll just have to be careful to make sure that all of the pieces get hidden by the front panel. So you can see I'm just going to line this up and make sure that everything stays hidden. And it does, so I'm going to make sure that that's laid down. Attach the grass on top. And we're going to go ahead and just trim off that excess. So there we go. We've got our scene halfway done here. We're bringing in our little elephant. I've popped him up with some foam tape as well. Let's get him lined up, and then we'll also be doing some shading just as I did on the front. So you can see I added some more shading underneath him and then also that dot texture. I've added some adhesive to the back side of that flap, and I'm going to attach my little card base to the front side. So there you go. We got our flap. To the inside portion of this, I've added some pattern paper, and I've also taken this bow and twine die from Pretty Pink Posh. I'm going to attach this down with some liquid glue. I've cut this out of some glitter cardstock, and I'm also going to add one to the front as well. So let's go ahead and lay that down, get it pressed down really good. Then I'm going to take more liquid glue and add the little bow on the top. And isn't that just the cutest little thing ever? So on the front, I'm taking some sequins. These are from the Sweet Pea and also the little stars. And I'm going to be adding those to the panel here just to create a look of confetti that falls with the balloons. Added some Wink of Stella glitter and some glossy accents to each balloon to give them some sparkle and shine. And that's going to do it. So I hope you've enjoyed. Be sure to stop over at my blog where you can get more information on this card as well as the products used. You can also find the complete list of Blog Hop participants over on my blog, so be sure to head on over there for all the information that you'll need regarding the Pretty Pink Posh Blog Hop, and this is a special year because they are turning 2. So thanks so much for stopping by. Be sure to give this video a thumbs up and subscribe to my YouTube channel if you've enjoyed. Thanks for stopping by.